Alright, guys. Today I'm going to be streaming again. I actually need to design a good PWR because I haven't had time. I had time yesterday, but I just didn't use it. Did not use it to make a good PWR. Well, today's the day we fix that. I also want to play with thorium. So, thorium is a great fuel for long term. According to me, because I said so. Because apparently it actually could, well, the idea is it lasts for a long time. Technically, you don't even have to put it through the steps. A lot of articles talk about the whole no need to actually enrich it before you use it as fuel. Where you just, instead of doing that, you just breed it into fuel. And thorium really is kind of a unique material in HBM mod and in a lot of different mods. When we discuss what you can even do with thorium in general, it's not very useful on its own, but after that first step of processing, it becomes quite useful. Which is why I want to deal with it in a setup. Because the billets of this shit can do quite a bit of stuff. If we look at it, we can see what it can do. With a function type that is safe Euler, makes a very good fuel for your... The heck? Creative world? Huh, what is he doing? Well, this is the world where we were going to design the PWR. For the new PWR. But really, I want to end up with... see, we have thorium, right? Like I told you all, we have the tons of thorium. Yes. Well, I just want to engineer, because this shit's pretty cool if we actually go through the whole cycle with this. I wonder what we can get. I'm just kind of curious, because if I were to deplete this all the way, is it even worth it? Gives me uranium-233. Well, it is pretty efficient turning it back into, actually, never mind, it's pretty efficient at turning it all into uranium-233. Also, by the way, it only needs infrared for you to process it down to uranium-233. And in theory, all you need to make it into a fuel rod is, well, that, I suppose. Of course, really what you want to do, in most cases, is use that as the actual PWR cycle and do a molten salt reactor. So we're going to look at molten salt, because molten salt is joyous. PWR. And we're going to try to build some small shit, since this would be pretty fascinating. Of course, there's some limitations and things that we need to consider. This isn't going to be able to complete some of my goals, but it's going to be able to complete some of my other things perfectly. And we also need to... It's a lot of easy uranium is what I'm thinking. I mean, it could be. But wouldn't you just rather mine uranium and then gas centrifuge it? I bet it's probably easier. Of course, it's up to you to do that math, since I'm not going to do that math. I think I've done enough math for a couple episodes. But I want to build some small shit, since it could be pretty practical, I suppose. I'm not really too familiar with building small shit. Usually I build other shit that's not small. And I really would like to do that today and build some tiny reactor that really satisfies my urge to build something powerful, but, you know, also kind of useful at the same time. I think if I just put that in there, that might actually work. Yeah, I think it'd be fine to do that. But obviously, I like really hate this like designing these things because it's you end up with whole lot of weirdness going on. Don't you need to place control rods between the reflectors too? That might actually be a. Hold on. I mean, kind of, maybe. I think it all depends on if... So, like, if we think about the actual fuel rod, like, yes, it is shooting down, but, like, if it's reflecting, then eventually, like, that's not a net positive. It's still gonna be, like, losing some neutrons in that, right? So if we were to cut off the reaction, wouldn't that just stop the whole thing? Of course, if it has a neutron source, then that doesn't work. But I think we can do a spacing of like this. Put our neutron source in the middle. And we should be fine to start off with our very rudimentary reactor design. And as long as it's not contacting any of our fuel, I think it should be okay. The question is how much moderation is it getting from the others, from the... Does it even get moderation from anything? I don't even know. Where's our Reddit moderator here? Does this get moderation from anything? But here's the kind of layout I think we should start off experimenting with. Since this is kind of the basis for a semi-decent design that runs this shit. I want to build a small thing. Since you build it small, it'll be easy for people to replicate, and we can share it around the Discord server. But this is my fuel kind of layout. And as we go through, we want to make sure that everything is reflected. And I don't think it really matters with the actual reflectors where you put them necessarily, as long as they're just pointing back into... Whoa, hold on. That's pretty good right there. I'm gonna say that this is a pretty decent design already. Got a lot of reflectors going on. Of course, it'd probably be better to put a fuel in the corner, but I do like that I'm able to reflect into that like so. That's pretty handy, I would say. What is produce the heat? What is this? Well, this is gonna be a little more complicated than the simplest. The best design I've made was, well, simplest design I've made is just literally you don't even have control rods. It's like 7 fuel rods and a thing. You should be able to find it on the Discord server. There's the design in there. So that's the basis of what I'm gonna build. Then you need your heat exchangers, which these send heat out into the core. And the placement of all of these blocks doesn't matter. But the real thing here is when you take thorium salt and you run thorium salt into depletion, I suppose, and then you get a little bit of that out of it. You get to put in some of the other stuff. Really, you can't build a super advanced well, maybe you can. I don't know. It's just kind of like, is this even worth it? I mean, you'd be getting out like you'd be getting out some. I guess it'd be the fastest way to convert to uranium-233, which is used for bombs mostly. If you wanted it to be used for bombs, it definitely could be used for bombs. That's pretty scary, right? That this could be the reactor for making bombs from. Shit. But we just need a good amount of cooling now. And then I guess the other thing. Before we do anything like that, let's just go ahead and remove all this shit so I have a photo of the layout, the basic layout. There's another block in here for PWR, which is pretty fascinating. The heatsink increases core heat capacity, and of course, heat capacity is pretty useful in this mod and stuff because I was under the impression that it was on the difficult side. I think the RBMK is more difficult, but of course, this is three-dimensional chess, kind of, for complexity's sake. You definitely have a lot of stuff you can do on the server with this, with open computers. Like I said, open computers adds in PWR Wrangler, which is used with this system. So keep that in mind. You can do quite a bit of stuff with this, for sure. I don't really know if I'm gonna even want this, because if I was to use these, I don't know if that's even useful. I don't even think it's useful. Specifically for this design, I don't think we're going to use those, because that's not super handy. We just need to put in some cooling and we should be good. And I guess I kind of want to design this for the server, but also for just for fun, kind of experiment with this shit. Technically, what you could do is add in another fuel rod on the edge, I think, but no, we'll just leave it as is. And that should be my full reactor done. I don't know if it would be better or worse to have a bit of spacing so we can add in more cooling, but we'll see how well this thing does as is. I think as long as it's able to run, it should be fine. Nice. Then we put in our PWR controller and our access port, which of course we have 3 sides of access to, which makes it possible for me to put my heat exchanger directly on top if I wanted to. Which is okay, let's say you put it down here and this thing explodes. You better watch out for that core ham, right? But if it's up here, no problems. That's why you put this shit at the top, because these are your most expensive blocks. Let's see. If we put that up there, we could technically do this if you're running a non-thorium cycle. But this is going to run a thorium cycle, of course. So we're going to design it with thorium cycle in mind. So we need a heat exchanger going out from there. We're going to need it to be thorium salt. Doing my engineering right now, guys. Okay, cool. Nice. Thorium salt. Liquid thorium salt. Okay, that goes in. And then we have our thorium salt out, which is going to be hot liquid thorium salt at 1600 degrees. So pretty hot, right? You actually need multiple of these to handle that much thorium salt, because it runs so hot if you're going to be running it with a lot of fuel. The next step is figuring out what exactly we need as far as our... Hold on one second. This could technically be rather self-sustaining as long as you supply it with uranium-233 fuel. U-230. God damn it. Uranium 233. No. We'll get that in a second. We need a boiler. I mean, obviously, there's lots of time to experiment, and I'm not an expert in this shit. We'll get to that in a second. Steam. We're gonna want this. Purex. So it's really going to be kind of free fuel if I build this on the server. That'd be a pretty nice idea. I think I'll design out a good one that I can use for every scenario. And then maybe I could put it on the server. No, that's not how that's going to go. It's going to go down a block. It should be like that. No. One block over. So it has overlap. Boom. And then, of course, the Purex will reprocess it. And then we have a duct that comes out like so. Boom. That's how I'm going to do it. It's got hot thorium. Okay, so then we do regular thorium, liquid thorium salt, and when I right click, neutron source is required, which means I need to move this part of it down a block for it to register, which now it does, and it will work. So this basically reprocesses thorium. Liquid thorium salt, of course, reprocesses through, and it takes a bunch of thorium nuggets, which are very abundant. If you can make thorium ingots, you'll be fine. Now, of course, I would want to get this perfect the first try, but I would reckon that it's not going to be so easy. So we're going to put that in there. And of course, for power, he's going to take energy from the grid. Cable. We're just going to go ahead and shove this in. And we're going to put it through a system of capacitors, since this is old HBM still. That way I can measure throughput. Meter. No. Gauge. Power gauge. Boom. Actually, no need for that even. We're just going to put a gauge right there. It should do the trick. And we have our energy cube. Since it's old HBM, we can still use this shit. That should give us our flow gauge. Cool. And that will work as far as I'm concerned. All I have to do now is supply it with a barrel. Any kind of barrel should work. It should be just a steel barrel, and then give it a infinite fluid tank for that shit. I'm pretty sure it might be strongly corrosive, although I don't remember. God damn it. But I think this will be fine if I just go ahead and do that. Right? Did it not work? Okay, that did work. Oh, what the fuck? Come on. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it needs a technetium one. Technetium steel barrel. Just so we can get started on the experimentation phase of seeing what capabilities we can do. The idea behind this would basically be you run thorium, and then you produce a constant stream of uranium-233. And then what you can do from there is start cooking your uranium-233. And we should find our PWR rods are at the bottom. Or not. Just PWR. Should bring it up, and it should be that one. It gives you a low flux function, though, for that. Usually I run MEP. Oh, actually it's the same as MEP. Almost. It's a little bit different. It's a square root instead of a logarithmic function. That just means it graphs differently. So when we do this, boom, we're going to be running that through, and it should be working. Output. Where's the infinite barrel? Where the fuck did the infinite barrel go? Come on. This would be so easy if it was... If it just made sense for 5 seconds. Guys, that's not going well. Guys, this is not... Okay, there we go. Now it's working. I don't even have it at full power yet. I think it doesn't even need that much effort, like, to keep it powered. Oh shit, no, it needs those. What the fuck was I doing? Brain damage mode. Brainium mode. Brainium tetrachloride. That's what's going on right there. Honestly, that's not bad. This might be the way to go. We might just have to start experimenting with molten salt reactors, because 800 Celsius is a lot of power output. If we were to look here, it's 17.4 million HE per tick. Apparently. Wait. Is it really? It's getting +0 right now. Wait a second, that's because it doesn't have a cooling tower. Yeah. Cooling tower. Yep, forgot a critical step right here. It's okay. Sometimes we do be like that, though. 30 million HE per tick. I don't think that's correct. I think what's going on is backflow. We'll put in a diode, since it's going to be easier to put in than a entire, or maybe not. Actually, maybe it'd be easier to put in a capacitor. Now it's not having backflow. It's getting 15 kilo HE per tick, which is pretty shitty, honestly. Okay, cool. But it was getting millions of HE per tick. But that's because backflow. Again. Screw driver. Give me 100 giga HEs right there, bro. Cool. Now it should be much better. And if I were to up this to a wonderful 40, save, and that should increase our actual flux inside the core, giving us a higher output of energy. But it doesn't. For what reason? Well, it's already running as hot as this can get, I think. So if I run it at 100, it should basically be fine. It's only running at 9. It barely goes up. So that's the problem with running thorium. But you also don't need to worry too much about your core. So running it full should be fine. Here's the issue, is that we have to supply it this constantly, or it's going to run out of thorium. I don't know if I'm going to do this on the server because of this. It's kind of an issue to run thorium salt like that. Oh shit. But it is going pretty fast now. Up it again. Again. And remember, we barely put any of the shit we need in there. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. What the fuck? Guys, that is bad. How is it even cooling? What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Come on. 6. Save our ship right now. 0. Z. Hit the Z button. Okay, I think we saved the ship right there. But, fuck. They can fully shut down. I mean, hey, it was able to shut that. Look, it was working perfectly fine until Diatlov. But anyway, I don't think that's really a way to go with this. I feel like it's kind of shitty. Kind of sucks, honestly. And for the annoyance of thorium, that is pretty annoying. It's a very annoying thing. But it was kind of interesting to experiment with that coolant. We'll see what other coolants are available. I don't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure sodium is also a coolant. We kind of need a good coolant that gets our shit nice and spicy. Press F1 for help. Power as a powerful coolant for the PWR. We'll try out a sodium reactor. Honestly, I think what I'm gonna do is try out that idea with putting these in there and putting them between the rods. I don't think I'm gonna put them between the rods anymore. I think I'm just gonna build towers of rods. Since as long as you cut off a rod from its neutron source, it should be fine. So then I can have a tower, somewhat like that, of 4 rods or so. That will give me my main functionality. Only have a few of these, then the rest is cooling. Then that's gonna have to be on all sides, right? So we're gonna make sure to take a photo of this design this time. It's worth the experiment. And then, of course, we also need the outsides to not have a connection to whatever bullshit's going on out there. Then, of course, do this. And that will be pretty much most of the system is done. So that's my first step, is building this shape, which is my cage of stopping neutrons from exiting the system. We're gonna run sodium fuel, sodium coolant, and instead of that, hello. Now we put in our neutron reflectors. And these are gonna go in like so. Remember, these can actually go on the inside too, as well, technically. You see, the problem with PWRs is that there's no like, there's like no great way of knowing what it's gonna do until you build it, and then that takes too much time to figure out what the fuck it's gonna actually do. And to actually get a perfect design with this shit, it's gotta be fucking terrible. Terribly annoying. I think I'd prefer to go with thorium through an RBMK, honestly. Also, there needs to be more space for stuff in this one. So we need to space these even farther back. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Because I need space for all of my stuff that I'm going to put in. We might even include those core heat systems, since it's going to need that. I just feel like the PWR might kind of be the reactor that needs like more explanation almost of how it works. Well, we could, But I also don't want to have to set up a system logistically for that. Maybe the RBMK is the way to go. Yeah, I mean, the RBMK definitely is the way to go for this. Okay, so this needs to be over here. So that way I can have maximum effectiveness as far as this goes. But that's my first step, right? Is neutron sources and the other things, and I have that done. Then you put your fuel rods in the middle. And inside of this cage for neutrons is our beautiful, beautiful friend, the neutron sources. Really, it doesn't matter how you build this shit, because it just doesn't. It's pretty simple. Then you need all of this stuff. Core. It's core time. Core. What am I looking for? No. I think we... I've already read that. PWR. Okay, cool. Here it is. This thing, the heat sink. Never used this before. We'll give it a shot on this thing. See if it's worthwhile, really. Put a couple of those at the top and a couple of these at the side. Bottom. And the great thing with the PWR is that the coolant can be ran through heat exchangers, like, straight away. So you don't even really need to worry too much. For, like, if you want to use it for a crucible or a furnace, for example, which is typically a system that I include with my PWRs, is that I am able to switch it between the generation of power and the generation of heat for machinery, then it's pretty nice. So that should be good. And then, of course, we need to include this part. I mean, if this doesn't work, if I'm not satisfied by this design, I'm going to learn the math calculations that are done by the game, so that way I can actually build a solid design for everybody. Instead of just guesstimating what the design looks like, I will go ahead and start researching HBM theory for PWRs. Because I feel like that's something I need. HBM PWR theory. How the fuck do I build a good PWR? It is definitely the most complicated reactor, with a lot of extra steps and things. Like, in concept, it's simple. You just, fuel rod, neutron source, done. But then also, understanding it is the real key here, because if I can't understand the full thing to design something that actually is going to work and give me my most output, I don't know if it's the most output available. I need to figure that out. That's the issue with the PWR, is that you don't know until you've built it. So, like, that's where all of my problems come from with this. Yeah, so we filled the center with those, and then we do this next. And then we're going to put in more pipes. I honestly might play on the server instead of actually playing this version. We'll see. Server is always nice. Do I just want to run those up? Nah, should be fine. Cool. I feel like it needs more of those. moves core to the heat and moves uses up whole heat of coolant. So I guess the efficiency of this system is like one of them exchanges heat to these, and then these dissipate the heat. So I suppose that it's all about building a good system is all about having an equal number of these two components. But I'm not sure because I don't know the rates on these. And if you didn't have a good equal number of components of these, well then that's where issues kind of begin, is having that equilibrium. Because one of them will have your whole heat and one of them is not your whole heat. But you don't need to have, I guess, if the first gauge is maxed out, that's fine. I think. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably fine if that first gauge maxes out. But I'll go ahead and start researching this after this design fails, since I know it's going to fail anyway. Then we just need to add in oh wait, corners are those. Okay, cool. But this is a pretty big design anyway. Technically, yes, it could just end it on the edges there. But we are going to build the full pillars in there. The full column of dumb shit. Might be better to build an RBMK, since there's a lot less physics at play there, and it's just about figuring out how to cool it. Really, I just need to research the best way of doing this to get any kind of energy output equivalent to what I need. Because I have good designs for energy output, I just want to have better designs for energy output. I suppose we definitely need to have a design that can run Sherbidium on the HBM world. And I guess that should be my next goal after I start learning how to build these effectively. But ideally this one will be used in power generation, and I can switch the other design mainly to heat generation. So I'll just be moving the other design, instead of retiring it, just moving it to heat generation for the machine hall that we're building, the workshop area. And I will be going into that world in a second, I guess, since I do have 90% of completion on what I'm looking to do. Just getting a good start. Do that. Run a heat exchanger right here. I guess we could put another port there, since it really doesn't matter. Alright, let's see if I'm still up. Am I still running? Holy shit, that was no bueno. Holy fucking shit, dude. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure the whole system just crashed right there. No power, maybe. I might have drawn too much energy or some shit. Was that caught on stream, the fucking graphics? God damn. See, what I saw on my end was like the fucking screen went to fucking rainbow pixels and shit. But that was a crash right there. Unfortunately, restore. I think either the graphics card is overheating or some shit. Or like maybe it's got something to do with my fucking colors or shit, but I have never had that happen yet. The system went down, unfortunately. It could have somehow involved the HBM mod. HBM system crash. I'm going to get everything started. If it goes down again, don't worry. we'll have to figure out what the issue is. Yep. Basically, it could have been anything, really, because I do all kinds of shit on this thing. Could have been a virus, even. I don't even know if this thing... Probably doesn't. I think I'm pretty safe. At the same time, could have been anything. That was just weird as shit. Because it just went straight to fucking... It looked like it was a 80s television or some shit. Some early 2000s television that couldn't get signal. Speaking of, is the server even up? Because that is curious. Oh, wait. What if it was Radman? I suppose it could have been Radman. Because that would make sense. Kind of, maybe. I don't know. I was probably using a lot of resources. But yeah, graphics. It went from 100 to 0 in 5 seconds. I'll check Resource Manager next. Performance Monitor. I guess RAM could have overloaded. No, I don't even know fucking how to use Performance Monitor that well. I guess it is in the fucking Task Manager. Checking my performance log. Could have maxed out the CPU. Memory's at 14.7 of 15.8. It definitely might have been a memory thing. Might have been a memory thing in the crash. But yeah, that shit was fucking insane. We're going to Disneyland. Is it gonna crash? Is it using too much memory? I have no idea. These are questions we need to start looking at. Does it need Windows to be uninstalled? Maybe. It may need Windows uninstalled. I'm gonna be honest. Because this was pretty bad. Java update. Yeah. It's not like I'm running anything that needs a modern version of Java. What the fuck? Oh, it's Pyrolysis Oven. Neato. I'm not sure why that's in my automation area, but it's cool. It can stay there for a little bit before I decide to move it. 638 motors. 409 copper coils. I love this world. Since I knew you'd see if it was placed there. Okay. Vacuum tubes, 622. Capacitors were at 0. What the fuck is the problem with capacitors? They just don't have wires, I'm guessing. That's cool. I can solve that problem pretty quickly. We just need to supply it with wires. Unless this one produces wires and it's set to that? No, it was not set to an output point. It's okay. That should solve the issue. The drills are running still. Great. And the PWR is going down today. We're shutting down that PWR system. And then tearing down this whole building. If we want to. Alright, system PWR. Gonna shut it down. I'm kind of nervous to do this. But it should just be that. Bye-bye, PWR. You did a lot of great stuff for us. But today is your last day existing. And this is the design I use for my PWR. For anybody who was wondering how this works. It's just a hodgepodge of different shit shoved in the machine. And it looks like this normally, by the way. Anyway, just to make sure I can remember how to do that, Shift F1, Shift Windows S is your best friend. He can take a picture of each layer of the setup. That way you have it for later. Even though it's really just a C shape, and then if you can remember that much, it's pretty much easy going. So, of course, remember, it's just a C shape. Copy this design and use a coolant of PWR, of deuterium, or heavy water, or some shit like that. Or, if you don't have heavy water, then use the fucking other shit. It's okay, though. This will be your best friend, I'm telling you. This thing lasted us until we had the fucking Watts reactor going. And then from there, it was pretty much just switch it over. If you don't want to do this one, there's a bigger design that exists that is much bigger and more capable that holds like 39 rods. And if you don't want to use my designs, then go to HBM Discord and copy somebody else's designs from PWR Designs. Since they have the designs, you just need to steal them. It's not like they hold a copyright on their designs or anything. So, fuck them. Just take their designs, please. Go steal their designs, you know what I mean? Just borrow it. And of course, with this new setup, we're not even going to need to have a boiler on it. So, it gives me an extra boiler. So when I go to tear this place down, all I need to do is vein mine everything. And it will be gone from existence. I'm pretty excited to do that. All of these capacitors are now also available for usage. But the PWR should just be able to fit in the same chunk as those. And also hook into these things. And if I hit, should be able to fit right here. Honestly, this is like the best spot for it. I can't move that box, but I can pretend I can. Okay, so we're gonna hit E. Gonna unchunk load that. Then I'm gonna chunk load this. If I can remember how to do that. These two chunks now need to be loaded. So we have to load 2 chunks, but it's fine. Because it doesn't cost that much to do. Unless that's the reason why it fucking crashed. Before I could even do the fucking... I have no idea what happened there. With that crash. But something happened. So that was very odd. Okay, that should be all I need. Thank you. This is a very dense design from what I remember. It's kind of like that. I actually don't remember the full design. My automatic tasks. Was it this one? Like, I'm so afraid my system's gonna crash again. Like, imagine that it happens again. Like, what the fuck? That was insane. I honestly don't even know what happened because I don't have a log of what happened because it's Windows. But I also probably couldn't even get a log if it was Linux. I'm like concerned it's like the system at this point. If it's the system, then it could just be that I need to get a new setup for this. Or rebuild what I have right now. Just reset the whole fucking thing. God damn it. That'd be so much work and I don't have time for that. Don't have time for it. Like, genuinely don't have time for it. Cool. Now I can just start laying all of this in there. And it really doesn't matter how you set it in. It just doesn't matter. At all. So I had it like this before. I guess it was like this, really. And the idea was a small but powerful PWR design that really pushes what we can do with our PWR design. Not sure where this extra neutron reflector came from, but it came from somewhere. And I'm kind of curious where the fuck it came from. Did I just have an extra neutron reflector in there or some shit? As long as it has the C on both sides, it should be fine. Does it have 4 there? Okay. I'm kind of confused where this came from, but I guess we'll just put it right there. I mean, I don't see a better spot for it, so... That's really weird. It's like when you build with Legos and you have all those extra parts, except much, much worse because I don't know where that shit came from. I have no fucking clue. That means that it could have came from anywhere. And it could have had any purpose in this setup. Although, I think it's pretty harmless if it's missing. I don't think it needs every single fucking neutron reflector to max out what it's able to do in such a little package like this. Now, I do need plutonium-239, if we have any of that, because that's the best fuel for PWRs. Or for building nuclear grenades, apparently. So, if we can get some plutonium-239 rods, that'd be nice. But if not, it should be fine. I'll build my fluid ducts now, which are going to go through these setups, or these systems, and then go back into the reactor, pretty much. And that should be as easy as piping to every single one of these heat exchangers, which can also max the system. And if we want to have a specific heat exchanger running, we at least need to have one, but all of them are available. So, like, clearly I need to do a input loop that has systems that can control the hot coolant. That's the first step. Here's the second step, is adding in a, well, yeah, there's, I guess steps is weird, but let's go ahead and set up this. I think the original design did not run heavy water, it just ran regular coolant. So heavy water is better than that coolant, obviously, for at least this setup. Put in this, because it's stone bricks. It's stone brick adjacent, guys. Stone brick adjacent. Let me get rid of this fucking image I don't need. Nice. Cool, that's amazing. I wish it caught what it looked like on stream for everybody. It's wondering. Because that shit was weird. Crashed straight away. Wonder if I got hacked or some shit. Imagine. Huh. Cool. That should be all it needs. At least for that setup, that system. And then we'll get the switches for those. And the reason you want to run switches on them is so that way you can turn one off and have the rest of them keep running. That's the idea. So that way if you don't need two of them running at the same time, you can have it shut off. Or you could turn on two of them at the same time and be like, oh, hey, I need two different things going on right now. And so that's kind of an issue. And of course, if we had a computer system, this could be pretty cool too. Like, you know what I mean? You have your op codes to be like, oh, this one does this one. Except here's where binary kind of fails, is that you can't have two different signals on the same line. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Especially for the decoder. Well, yeah. Unless we had a lot of bits going through there. Okay, and then we will hit this, and it's not done somehow. Let's see. Ah, the bottom. Jump scare from the bottom. From the depths. Cool. Right click. I think we ran regular coolant, but I'm gonna run heavy water. Because I do as I want. Huh? Heavy water for that. Next steps are simple, right? Yeah, no, that was something weird going on. That's some pretty fucking suspicious shit. That did not seem correct. It had to be like resource usage. That had to have been the problem. Alright, so I need to actually make, instead of that, I need to make the actual switch. Yeah, that's what it's called. Fluid underscore switch. Actually, Valve Gaming here. Valve Gaming to do some more Valve Gaming. Paintable 1. It's just gonna take some of these and some of those and some of the other shit. Where's the anvil? Oh, did I put it all the way down here because I'm insane or some shit? Nice. Do I have my steel on here? I have my steel over there. Still waiting on Dosto to come back to sort everything out, but it's okay. We can wait on him forever. He can do whatever Dosto needs to do before he's ready to return. I think it only does need 16. Oh, what the fuck? Oops. My bad, guys. I might have made more than I ever will need, but that's okay. That's a good thing to do. Jolly good, isn't it? I think it only needs 16, so we're just gonna go with 16 is the answer. And of course, levers. Lever time. Do. Can't touch this. 16 levers. Don't worry, I'm kind of smart some of the time, but sometimes not. So it's questionable whether this is actually... Fuck. It's 32. But that's okay, I can throw all of that shit in the box right here. Pretty sure this is the box it goes in. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous, what the fuck? Why does they have a C there? Nobody needs to put a C in that. And of course, lever time. Do. Can't touch this. Nice. Fluid valve installation completed. That will allow our hot coolant to flow through into the machines. So that's the first step, is the hot coolant line. Remember, doesn't matter if they're on or what. We just got set to hot coolant, and it's done. Hot coolant is good. And anytime you turn these on, it will just switch. So now it's time to put in our lines. for the hot coolant, and that's when we start digging out this shit. Ah, fuck. God damn it. Of course, now we have this issue. And it would save us to just go like this. Just stop and then go underneath of that. With our regular coolant piping. And I'm assuming most people can read, so we don't need to color code the piping. If that even was a thing. Oh dear. But we don't need aluminum pipes for sure. That's why I'm saying at least everybody can read. So there's no chance anybody could get this mixed up or mess it up in any capacity when the piping when we're running the pipes. So that's just me future thinking about Daniels existing, but if there is a Daniel, he won't be in this world because I'll ban him. God damn it. He still is on the mind. Grievances. Okay, and that's all it needs. Is pipes that do that now. Which this is kind of messy, but don't worry. This is important to have a pipe that takes all of our shit back to where it started. And that should be the whole system done. Technically, you could run every single one of these at the same time, but it's not going to be super efficient. The idea is you run them only when you need multiple processes because multiple players are using your system. And so, or you have multiple different things you need to do all at the same time, and the PWR is capable of handling that. The load is kind of the issue with this system, but it's okay because, of course, yes, it is okay. And also, if we were to run this better, if we wanted to do it better, just build a second Watts reactor, and we run it on low enriched rubidium with like one pellet of that, and then just a bunch of absorbers for the heat. So then you have lead absorbers, which don't produce much, and you have a bunch of low enriched rubidium. I think that was how I did it before, but you can make low mud generating Watts reactors by using the right fuels and shit, which means you barely need any kind of processing for that. And that's pretty valuable, if I do say so myself. Coolant, and it gets regular coolant back, so then we can just switch that out for hot heavy water and heavy water. And heavy water, since that provides you with a PWR flux multiplier, which is rather useful. And then everything else is down to the machines and running the machines. So we're done with that setup. Almost. We just need heavy water, which is on the moon. Or, if I build a machine that can make some heavy water, we can do that. And it shouldn't be too hard, because it's just water through deuterium extraction machinery. This thing. Not too bad, right? Well, I would argue it's kind of annoying for me to have to make that, but I will make it. I do need copper plates, though, which could be a problem. I believe it's just 16 of that. Steel plates. Then we do shells. Oh hey, the deuterium extractor is right there. Perfect. 6 cast copper plates. Do I have cast copper plates already? I think it was something I did have. But they might not exist anymore. They might have gotten used. Well, it'd be nice to have more cast copper plates. Let's see if I got any copper powder. I do have the silver powder. Yeah, it's in the crucible crate, I think. Let's see. Oh, that's good. I don't remember casting these. I'll just take them. I'm taking 31. I already have the stack, don't worry. Since I pulled it out before you could see it, I have a feeling you're coming over here to give me some. But I'm good. I have what I need. Cool. Next step is putting all that other shit back in this random box so it's all confusing later. Actually, really what we need to do is keep these on my inventory since I'm going to need to make a bunch of that shit anyway. Different processes have a different need for every single setup that we do. Let's see. Does this have anything in it? It's kind of not doing anything right now. What about the bottom one? Is the bottom one doing shit? Bottom one's still sitting here. Okay, cool. This top one's good to move, bottom one not so much. What is this guy doing? Any of these doing anything? Okay, so we'll just start moving the shit for this guy. Which one has stuff in him? This one? Okay, and then of course, we need, it's got insulators in it. We do need plates, so we'll make some of those today. That should be everything it needs to make, that stuff, effectively. Just need to find my gold, or copper. Copper will make a single stack. Gold will make 4 stacks. I mean, I guess gold would be in one of these boxes, probably. Or not. It's all about where I had gold at. Probably had gold in some random place. It's like, what the fuck? Just throw it in this box here. I wonder if I sacrificed all of my gold to the JFK machinery. We do have polonium 210 as well. Is this box full? I wonder if this box is full. That's a good question. Not yet. Nice. I think all of the recent boxes should be full of gold. Or actually should be empty of gold because it's getting expended. Also tungsten as well. Yeah. Gold is kind of a problem now. But I knew there was gold somewhere. I just forgot where I put all of it. And not gold 198. We need to create a splitter for the gold 198 so we can split out some of that. We obviously don't need every piece of gold as gold 198. That's rather a waste. It's quite the waste. Gold 198 for everything. Huh. Great idea. Gold 198 is waste now. Maybe it's in this box? No, that's just some weird shit. I just don't remember where I put it. Because I had some, and I was running around with it, and I put it in some box. I just can't remember. Wait a second. We haven't checked every box. It's literally this one. Here's some gold bars. Because that's cool. That's the new rage, right? It's all the rage nowadays. Gold bars. Actually, I will tell you, I invested in gold, and I put in $40. And when I last checked, it was at $60. So that's very valuable, right? Oh, hey, I already have my circuits done. Well, good job. I've completed the circus. Which is no joke. I'm gonna make some more circuits in there, since I can. Because I can. There's also a ton of blocks in oh, okay. Thanks. That's good. That means I can just make this thing now. I can make a deuterium extractor. I will just make a simple little deuterium extractor. It's going to take a little bit of time to fill up, but it will be okay. So this is my main supply for heavy water for now. It just needs power on this. So that makes things a little bit more fun because I did not account for putting power into the machine. We will use a pylon, since it will save me a lot of effort and a lot of hassle. In the meantime, we'll clean up our inventory of all of the mess that it has become. And then we'll start looking at how I can do this best. Here is some of those extra large pylons. But really, I just need regular pylons and I can complete my task pretty well. We're going to take out a bunch of this shit too. Since we have all of these machines laying around, I'm going to start organizing this into the boxes since Thosto won't be here for that. General purpose kind of hoppers, capacitors, stuff like that, cables. Then in this box, regular machines, I guess. Oh, hey, we will need the acidizers for a setup soon. Hey, man, I know you're salty still because I banned you, but you can calm down, man. I'm just saying. Maybe I should be a little nicer, but I do feel like shit was pretty stupid. Too far away. God damn it. It's that three-dimensional trigonometry. I was gonna say Python, but that's not correct. For now, we're just gonna run a cable across the floor. I'm sure nobody will get tripped on that shit. Huh. I need a water barrel. Which I did make a super good water barrel, right? No, low pressure steam? Why the fuck is there a low pressure steam thing on this? Is that a thing I did? Should I do that? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not mad, it's just funny. I joined, played, did some dumbass shit. Used a nuke, hated on the 112 server, got banned. All in less than 2 days. Well, I'm glad you're not mad because I did not want to, well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really care. I didn't really care if I made you mad, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. You annoyed the shit out of me while you were there, so I just kind of did what I did. Kind of just mess with you a little bit, and then banned you. And then, yeah. Now we're here. But it's okay. You can still watch the streams and stuff, but if I have to play with you again, nah, man. No, not even if we're on the same team. All of that absolute annoying shit, you'd be like, oh, man. How do you use the oil again? I wouldn't too. That's fair. It's a two-way street. I have barrels and shit in here as well. I need to get the water set up. That's what I need to do. Water. Do I have a water piping or water barrel somewhere here? I think I was setting it up with the fucking here. Yes. But where does it come from? It comes from underground, probably. Ah, yes, it does. They fixed it like 2 days ago. Every machine now doesn't bug out when you rejoin. That's pretty cool that they fixed it that fast. So that's good for the development team. Although I still might believe it was user error to some degree. And then heavy water. No, regular heavy water. Yes. Yes. The machine begins. And this will take like 5 hours, but don't worry. We'll be back and Dyatlov will have detonated it. Certainly, the 1986 will begin of all time. And don't worry, because 1986, see, if you have to ask me what year, I guess, for anything, it's always 1986, because it's the year of our Lord, Dyatlov, who blew up the... I did the fluid ID wrong. I mean, if we want to say that it wasn't a bug, because apparently you're saying they fixed it, to where it doesn't relog when you or it doesn't have problems when you join or relog, because that's what it was, right? Like anytime you would leave the server for too long, it would just stop working. But that's okay because it's been solidified, thankfully. I mean, it was just kind of annoying. It was like, you asked me for help, and then you were like, but I know it's this. I mean, I guess we're both frustrated at the point. Okay, so that I can have my acidizer somewhere over in this area. Cool. This really makes everything really clean, doesn't it? This is a really clean setup. I kind of like it, actually. PureX and the assembly machine and all of this shit is pretty nice, pretty sweet. I think we might have the GTNH HBM setup of all time. This might look like GTNH, but I still haven't built my alloy machines yet, so... Do fins make the missile more inaccurate, or is the missile inaccurate by default? I'm asking because I made a missile and added fins. It fell on my cracked oil setup. I have no idea how that accuracy system works, because I don't mess with missiles usually. I'm just a guy. I don't do missiles. This is gonna take forever, by the way. I'm just saying. To produce heavy water in this capacity is taking forever. I think I just need to increase my amount of water I'm putting in. I mean, it's not that slow. If I increase the amount of heavy water we put in, then it could go faster. Anyway, we can just wait on that and then figure out some more stuff. For example, we do need... You could have stolen some from the fusion reactor since there's excess being produced. Okay. Well, I also don't want to mess with that because I don't really want to destroy everything by being stupid, because I totally could do that. I don't want to mess with the fusion reactor when I am working on this setup, really. But I do need a steam setup now because I just realized if I'm going to set up the alloy machinery, it does need a steam setup to do a lot of those processes. So we're going to set up one of those right now. Well, I am going to set up one of those right now. And I can mark out where my pipes are at. Grab that shit. There should be plenty of these in here. I'm going to put conveyors in there. That redstone fluid valve. I don't need redstone fluid valves at this time. I need regular fluid valves. And then it should be good. Okay, and then I can run this. You all... no. This is on my old HBM world. Heavy water just running that way for some reason. Then it also needs... Is that in line with my system? Oh, wait. Maybe it needs to have a underflow, a pipe that flows under this one. Because that might be the hot pipeline on the other side. Yes. Hot, heavy water there. And of course, before we can even run any of this shit, an important thing to keep note of is that we need to have our piping correct. Or our actual heat exchangers correct as well. As we continue, should just be this, that, then we set up this. Cool. Unless you got builders on crack, how the fuck is this possible? We do have somebody who went to space already on the new server. So it isn't impossible, to say the least. That guy is insane. Hot, heavy water. Oh, dear. That means I just converted every single fucking pipe in the entire thing. God damn it. Ah! Okay, this is all hot, heavy water then. But that should be regular water. Regular heavy water. God damn it. How the fuck do I fuck this shit up? The fuck? God damn it. I wasn't paying attention. I fucked up the whole system. All it takes is one mistake. And your whole system will be hot, heavy water. It's okay. We can fix this really easily. With a little bit of correction in the pipeline. Oh. Is he planning to build in space? I actually don't know. That's a question for somebody other than me. But maybe. We will see. We will see as what he does. Yes, now I've also fucked up my heavy water pipelines, but I'm pretty sure it went like this. And then ran under that. He mentioned something with a Minmus base. Yeah, he did go to Minmus. That's where he went. But I don't know if he built the base there or what. So, like... I guess this gives me something to do while I fuck up the piping and shit. Hot, heavy water, that's still connected to shit, right? It's supposed to be connected to shit. But it's not. Is this the pipeline for that? Because that doesn't run correctly. This is the heavy water pipe. This is the... Okay, that's a hot heavy water pipe. So I suppose those go through here. And then this is my regular water return pipeline. Which also means that everything I just did there was completely null. And moot point. The fuck is this shit? God damn it. Completely fucked up the pipages. Supposed to be hydraulic, but this is definitely not hydraulic. This is piping pain. The pipe gods are absolutely furious right now. It's all because I wanted to add the fucking alloy smelters to this shit. There we go, that looks about right. I think I'm getting to the point where it's starting to make sense now. And since this is kind of where all the piping is, we might as well start putting in the other stuff. Okay, so then I do this one. Can do that one right away. Imagine I just shift click the entire fucking hot pipeline again. I almost did that shit right there. Okay, and we are making progress. As long as all of these pipes are correct, nothing should go wrong. I do the pipes all over again? Yeah, you're probably right. That is probably less work. But I am an engineer, and I think I've got this shit. Which should be correct. As long as none of this connects, it should be perfect. The question is, how did this connect? Because I think, and I really am thinking here, but wouldn't this be my heavy water pipeline? And that not be my heavy water pipeline? But I could be wrong. 1 bet, 1 cent. I bet 1 cent. Oh, never mind. Got this shit. Okay, so that's correct. Is it? Hold on. Heavy water. Why is this in here? Okay, so this goes under my hot heavy water pipeline. I'm guessing... Oh, okay, now this makes sense. This would be hot heavy water. Then you would run... Heavy water would go here, but then your regular heavy water goes underneath this. Like that. Which leads me to question why this is here. Wait, that's for the final connection to the main junction. And then that should be the whole pipeline done. It's kind of confusing, but that should be everything correct. It's all just up to God to decide whether or not this works now, or it fails. Either way, I don't really care. I'm just here for the ride, guys. Here for the ride. I don't know if I want to fill all of the bricks back in, or like leave it kind of exposed. It is kind of not bad looking. It's aesthetic. We'll just leave it exposed for now. And we'll put glass on it and a... What was that? Lol. A little lithium because there's a hole in the ceiling. Place glass, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do, but for now we're just gonna leave it open since I don't know if my thing is correct. I mean, it should be correct because I did check, but there's no like fluid flow through tester or some shit. That would be pretty handy to have like a fluid flow through testing machine. Honestly, would be nice. It's a luxury we don't get though because it's HBM mod. We're not that advanced in HBM mod yet to have a flood throughput testing machine. That's like some kind of future shit. HBM hasn't fought that far yet. He hasn't put in a... What are they called? Tester. No. Testing thing? I don't even know what they're called. We can make it look pretty too. Since we're at the job of fucking shit up, might as well make it look pretty too, right? We could make polonium glass. Just cover everything in polonium glass. If we really wanted to have a nice, fun setup, one that's gonna keep you warm all winter. This Christmas, I'd love to have for these pipes to have facades A2K. You can make paintable versions. The paintable versions are basically like, of course, I feel like Greg Tech facades would kind of be useful, but you can make a paintable pipe. It's called paintable, which means you can just cover it in a block, and then it looks kind of weird though. I think you already know about that though. If you play any HBM mod, you should know about paintable pipes. Definitely will say that the Open Computers integration between this is absolutely wonderful, especially since that mod is very powerful. we'll see where we're at with our actual thing here. How much PWR juice do we have? Not enough yet. Cool. But my army of crucibles is ready to go. As long as every one of these is right. We'll go ahead and double check just to make sure. Then we can start. And no, we'll wait on the glass. We'll hold back. And also, you can shift click a grate onto this to make it so you can walk on top of it. I guess in the meantime, while we're waiting on all that shit, let's start figuring out alloy smelters and also where we're putting our foundry basins. Then in a private server. I mean, you enjoyed it, right? You enjoy HBM mod, right? It's probably one of the mods of all time. It definitely is the only mod for me to play. I can't even get into Greg Tech anymore. HBM mod is the best mod available. I will say that. Well, at least in my opinion. I should preface that with my opinion. Because opinions do not matter. So I need to make sure that people know that. Opinions, my opinion also doesn't matter the most. So keep that in mind. I just make videos. So of course I'm just gonna have these set up like so. Like so. That way you can already have an alloy thingy at them. Or well, a thing at each of them. So you don't have to. You only just need to make the molds. And then these ones don't even have hoppers yet. But that's a project for another time. That's a later issue. I would say that's a next week, the second Tuesday of next week problem, right? You all know what that means. It means we're not dealing with that shit right now. Fuck that shit. God damn it. Who wants to do that? Let's just go ahead and be smart and not do that shit. This is the workshop of all time. I used to love mechanism and create a lot. Mechanism for reactors, create for contraptions. I used to make reactors that pop out of the ground. But as I played HBM mod, I think I cheated. I fell in love. Yeah, HBM mod's sweet. HBM mod will show you that there's too much to do with oil, and it will give you autism, I'm telling you. You'll contract autism from HBM mod. You'll be like, what the fuck am I... How much calculations do I need to do to make sure I calculate too much? Over-calculating shit. Calculating shit is, the truest HBM... The highest level of HBM mod. Once you reach the point where you're calculating numbers and shit, you're gonna start realizing that you might have made a mistake. You'll be like, 80% of my... bitumen is turned into fucking petroleum, or no, 80% of my bitumen is becoming regular oil again, and then, you start to realize, what the fuck did I do? Where did I go so horribly wrong? I might have goofed up at some point. At some point I goofed up. I just don't know where quite yet. That's just when you discover the N button. Yeah. They don't even have that in the actual 112 version. Be putting 5 times 8 into it? No. But I can show you some interesting math. That you... Like, this is like when you start getting too deep into the system, but... I'll give me a second to actually get everything I need ready for this setup. Since I need to have a couple of these ready to do stuff and things. Set up some rotary furnaces. These are the fucking alloy smelter I keep talking about. Rotary furnace, it's gonna go here, and another one's gonna go here. That way, if the reactor melts down when I turn it on, it's gonna destroy my rotary furnace since I don't need it. Actually, yeah, we'll leave that like that. We'll build a second rotary furnace after I go ahead and show you all some truly, absolutely painful math for calculating out combustibility yields of different products in a second. So like with combustion, it gives you that little number. Never used the, it's for Saturnite mostly. You'll use it in a few recipes. It's kind of new, so HBM hasn't found a way to make it super painful yet. Usually when I mention stuff like that, it happens to become a thing, because I'm like the good idea fairy. Except that's actually kind of what I am. Good idea fairy. Right here, guys. Giving HBM all of the ideas. I can't remember what things he's put in because of stuff I've said, but he's definitely put in evil idea fairy. Nah. It's good ideas, because HBM likes it. He likes the good ideas. Nice. Good job. This is good work. I think that means I can just remove this shit. Doesn't mean I'm done with the barrel yet for the water, but does mean I'm done with my deuterium extractor. Which is actually good for space when you need that deuterium extractor to make extra oxygen. Super handy shit. And of course, you always want to have kind of a measure of what your throughput actually is. So we're going to put in a hot, heavy water throughput valve. So that way we can measure that shit. You know, if I had to make a game, I'd do Factorio with HBM mod with satisfactory graphics and Minecraft performance. I don't know if Minecraft is super performant. It's just a really simple game. I mean, I suppose on like old systems it could be. But then at the same time, like the newer versions of Minecraft are like shitty for performance. Because there's too much shit and it's kind of bad. When it's the core menace. Oh dear. We're gonna put a pipe right through there. Right into the weapons room. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about how this goes. Oh, I found where the RBMK used to be. It's just buried in the soil. Steam pipes will be just short of this. I do need more pipes, though. Nah, that's where I'm gonna go ahead and disagree. Play 1.7.10 with, like, the same number of mods as you can get running on your 120,000 or whatever the fuck version it is. You will see that it is a lot better performance on old Minecraft. But that's just where I'm gonna disagree. Steam and low pressure steam can go through those. So either one works. That means I can put this one on the far end and then... Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I just accidentally mined extra. No, that's fine. We can fix that real quick. Or should I put it on the near end? If I put it on the near side, that's easier to pipe to, I feel like. Because then I just have to have this pipe here go through the ground. Like this. Kind of extend out from there. And then I have to set all of them to have heavy water coolant available. Don't ever put the shit in there before I'm done with this, by the way. Because then we'll have a nuclear meltdown. It probably takes more memory to load all of the shit. But then again, if you're playing modded, it's like the question of... Like, I don't know much about the Minecraft systems. I'm not like a Minecraft developer. I just know that anytime I play 1.12 or 1.7.10, my performance is up like 100%. Whereas the other versions, I have problems with the performance. So it's probably something with the new versions that's weird. So we need a steam pipe and another pipe. Your sense is vanilla 1.7.10. Try adding mods on both versions with optimization ones. Okay, here's the thing. I don't include optimization mods in any of my stuff, and I'm still running way better on 1.7.10. If you put optimization mods in, it changes the performance a lot. I don't know how that works on the new versions, because I've tried that with the optimization. But then at the same time, the optimization also didn't make it better. I honestly did not see a change in the performance. And also, it also depends on what version we're using. If we're just using, like, you know, if we're just running, what is it called? Fucking Forge. That's also going to be different from when you're running a different client than Forge. And of course, I usually run Forge, so it's kind of very interesting to start looking at every single aspect that could be different between our experiences and how we run the game. So I've only used Forge, and I'd say that's a pretty strange thing. Most people probably run the new versions on different shit because it probably is built differently too. Fastcraft alone? I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of that. But yeah, exactly. That's like difference in what we've used. But for me, I've never had a fast mod pack on the new versions. That's just because I've never really wanted to mess around or experiment with the new versions that much. I still don't want to, because it's not something I'm interested in. The new versions are kind of shitty anyway. I wouldn't want to play a new mod pack because of just, it's not really my thing anyway. It's kind of, huh. Is this a Dosto change to the base, or is that actually, oh yeah, it's a Dosto change. God damn it, Dosto. It just makes your game have way more FPS. I will check it out at some point when I play one of those versions next. But I don't think that's going to be for a while. Okay, so now I have my steam pipe run up, and it will become low pressure steam pipe all the way up. Water pipe comes back down. I'll check it out next time I get a chance. We'll see. If there was a modern HBM port that was good, maybe I'd play it. But I don't know. That should hopefully never happen. Okay, because there's no way we're gonna get HBM to be pop. Well, actually, it probably would be. Win is 118, guys. Win 118. Is that where it needs to go? Oh, that is where it needs to go. Okay, cool. Then it just needs to have a couple of these underneath. Nice. And a water intake right there. Or right here, if we want to do it smartly. Water through here. Why they don't port the mod to, because that's too much work. Because you have to rewrite the entire mod, or if you want to do it in a really shitty way, here's what I would do, right? So you make a system that allows you to interpret the old Java systems. Here's why it's not easy to do and why it's like. So if you do it the way I would do it, where you make a new system that interprets the old Java runtime 8, then you're running twice the Java, because you still have to run Java runtime 8 probably to get that to work. And that's what 1.7.10 and 1.12 use. They run Java 8, Java runtime environment 8, which is basically why my server will crash if I try to set my whole system settings to Java 21, because when it resets, it will go, oh shit, wrong Java version. We can't run 1.7.10 on, 121, because there's a difference in like all of that shit and how it works. That's where it becomes a problem, is that you have to have two different versions of Java running in order for any of that to work. So that's the issue. Or you redo the entire mod to work on 121. And you know how much code there is in HBM mod? A lot. It might only be like 96 megabytes, but that's a lot of stuff. Still, it's just because HBM's good at making shit work and be tiny. That's just kind of the biggest problems, I would say, with trying to do that. Low pressure steam goes through. Nice. So that's my Steam setup for this. I think it's because the mod is way too old. That's exactly what I said. Because of the Java run. So the newer versions of the game, they use a different Java runtime environment. That's literally what I said. None of this work create with add-ons. I don't know what that means. Bad attempt, like hating how create whatnot is add-ons, whatnot. I don't know. This is just referencing create being bad, basically. But that's not to say it's impossible. If you wanted to do it really shittily, to where it somehow manages to get two Java runtime environments to work at the same time, do some kind of sorcery, it might be possible. But at the same time, it's going to be performance heavy, just kind of... It'd be a pain. But it wouldn't be impossible, necessarily. Add that because it probably would be considered very impossible. The big style change, I suppose. I honestly really... Okay, I don't like Create Mod, but I don't play it, so it doesn't bother me. It's not like I play anything that involves Create Mod. So I'm not bothered by it. See, if people have a problem with it existing, that's a bit strange, but... I also can't get into it that well because I'm so used to HBM mod. It just feels clunky. And then we need to do hot heavy water, by the way, in this pipes, in the systems. Is that did work? Okay, cool. Hot heavy water, hot heavy water, hot heavy water, hot heavy water. Nice. We'll go ahead and double check that all of these have become the correct thing. And now it should be ready for PWR fuel. Hot heavy water to heavy water. Nice. Heavy water, hot heavy water, hot heavy water, hot or regular heavy water. Nice. Same shit. This is where we really need to verify this shit because it's likely that if you expect everything to be perfect and it's not, and somebody goes to use that shit, well, what the fuck has happened is a massive Dyatlov class event where the 1986 Chernobyl happens right here. And so we don't want that shit to happen. Do we? Cool. And now I finally can make gunmetal. Because I have a setup that can kind of do that. And of course you all want to see me bulldoze this shit. This absolute slop fest. Before we even get started with these, I need to start a cooling drum. I think we still have one at the plant. Or not. Like my Chernobyl sauce. Extra spicy. Oh, we don't. Dear God. It's okay. Nobody said it had to be easy. They just said it had to be. And I will give this man all of my fucking RBMK rods for his grease gun. Here you go, mister. Look, it's like fucking soda. God damn, dude. That's some fucking crazy soda. Oh, you got 15 cooling drums? He's just a little bit thirsty. Yeah, we need to set up cooling drums or some shit. Do you know Mindustry Fish? Yes, I've played it. I wasn't very good at it because I couldn't get past a certain level. But it was pretty fun to just build a little bit of industry. I got to like titanium or something. I think that's as far as I got. Titanium. Which is like fucking early in that game. This should be enough fuel. I think it will be enough fuel at least. Yeah, and then we do this. Nice. Nice PWR sauce. PWR fuel, boss. How much crucible temperature are we... Oh, it's maxed out the crucible temperature already. God damn. Look at that shit. It just instantly maxed it. It only takes 6 rods, which is okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and start testing out how fast we can cast out 500 plates. Or, let's give it a benchmarking test. This is the Crucible benchmark test, right? We're gonna take some nickel and we're just gonna start casting it into ingots. Or something. I don't know yet. Some insane tactics just to be able to focus. Yeah, it's not even tactics I'm good at. There's a lot of tactical games I play. I like tactical gaming. If you ever want to play against somebody, then just play some combat mission Black Sea against me. You'll see that I'm pretty good at that. But Mindustry, hell no. I'll lose at Mindustry anytime, any day of the week. Fucking suck at that game. Okay, we're gonna cast out iron ingots, and we're gonna cast 3 stacks of iron ingots to do a benchmark for how fast we can cast it out. So what we're gonna do to do that is I'm gonna move out this casting plate mold and swap it for an ingot plate, and then we're gonna begin the casting. And ideally, I would set up a hopper for this. Hold on. Hopper. Right? Hoppers? I got hoppers somewhere? Ah, here we go. Now I can set up the rest of the hoppers. I'm pretty sure all of these need hoppers. And it's that 55 stack right there. So the speed at which this is casting, because it has 7 million thermal units right now, is quite insane. It's melting every single block down. Melting every single ingot down. Pretty rapidly. The next benchmark I'll do is going to be... also don't think that works on the front of that one. But the next benchmark we'll do is going to be the... That might work. I mean, the furnace is a pretty good benchmark, obviously. But that shit's going pretty fast. It's staying at a constant 91,000. It's still at 6 million thermal HE. Thermal units. God damn. The next benchmark will be this shit. Spent fuel cooling drums. Okay, I can work with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up, I guess, the actual... There's no way for me to get it out. I could automate it, or I just could just avoid that completely. I'd have to refill it, so no, let's avoid that. There's really no space, because I didn't leave space for an output on this. When it's finished that fuel piece, then it could probably be done. Okay. I don't really want to waste the fuel, though. I suppose it can be done. But we're still doing that test, right? To see how fast... Like, it literally filled it up. See, the only thing holding it back is that it can't hold 3 stacks of this shit. But I'm casting 3 stacks of ingots on it right now. If it was plates, it would be different. If it was plates, it'd already have casted all of them right now. It would just be dumping them out. Would have melted them and then they would be dumping them out. That's pretty sweet, though. We need a second alloy smelter for the workshop, since we finished that. But now we have, like, this is not something you see in a normal HBM player's base. Usually you don't see more than, like, what they need. Here I have, like, 7 crucibles, 1 furnace. I mean, it's just 1 furnace, okay, but still, that's enough to do a lot of stuff. You put that in the furnace and it would have been done by now. Oops. That's not good. But that's pretty handy. Yeah, I fucked up that shit, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll get to it eventually. I guess what I can do in the meantime is... Oh shit, don't do that. But I need to switch it like this. Steam, fill up that steam buffer. I could do that, or I could just not do that since I don't need that right now. This will make 64,000 steam, which is, that's enough to run the rotary furnace for quite a bit. I'll grab out one of the casts I have, one of the molds. Cool. Purex. I guess we could just set up cooling drums at Purex and then just have it take from those, but maybe underneath it? It's a good question of how I'm going to do that. It definitely brings to question how this will be done. And of course, we want to make something that looks pretty fucking sweet. So we need to choose a good building material for my system to get stuff into the thing. And I think what we're probably going to do is granite, because it's not bad. Where did I put my thing? This is a great question. I think I put my thing somewhere, but I can't remember where. And whoever took this out of that place is bad. It's supposed to be in my special storage area. Because we need this shit to be highly secure inside of a open cage. Now that that's done... Oh dear. Where the heck is what I'm looking for? Hydro treaters, hydro machinery, electrolyzer. I don't know what I'm gonna need an electrolyzer for in here, but I guess I have that. I guess I have extra. I don't even think we need to have as many of the things. I guess I'll just start storing these because I'm not doing anything. Or not remembering what I need to do. I'll remember what I need to do when I remember to do it, and I'll be like, oh shit, that's what I was doing. I just can't remember at this time what I was thinking of, but it's okay because sometimes my mind just shuts down for a few seconds. It's stereotypical me. It's all the information I store inside my head, like what I'm gonna do next and other things that are happening. So like, it also kind of clogs up my brain. Oh, chisel. That's what I was gonna do. But since we got all this shit in my inventory now, let's go ahead and dump it off. Dump it in the box. I do need those though. We'll figure that out later, how that's gonna fit into the system. But for now, I see that that's getting set up. Is this thing still casting? Yes, it is. Good. Keep up the great work. But yeah, it passes the benchmark test for sure. Just to keep it running. Just in case this thing bottlenecks or some shit. I'm gonna split it between the two. 1% complete on depletion. This is sweet. I like this. Before I do anything else though, let's install some grading. If I have... Oh, wait. Do what we should be doing. And let's find that chisel, because I know it's hiding in a box. I know it is hiding in a box. It's more than likely in one of these crates somewhere, waiting for me to find it. If it's not, I have this anyway, so... But we're gonna go through every single box until I find it. And we're also gonna grab those, just because I need to be preemptive with that. Before I forget to do that shit too. It will be in one of these boxes. Getting my like items together, by the way. That's just what this is getting light items together. Since like items should be together, you should have all of that shit organized. Except, in my case, I don't, because, well, we just forgot that step a little bit. It's fine. It will all come through the system and be excellent at the end of the day. That, this, these, that. Holy shit, we had a lot of more conveyors than I even realized because it was all mismatched. But any generic items that you use, like comparators and shit, this all goes in its box. These are like regular items and I don't know why they're in there. Crafting material stuff. These actually get removed in the next update. So, the fact that we have them is interesting. Because they're just gonna get removed. And we have like 7 of those things. Oh shit. Never mind, those go in here. We already had 7, but look how many fucking of these I've reduced by making those. A lot. A lot of those are reduced. How's it going with the alloy smelter? I see that it's started to run pretty well. That's good. Different gunmetals would be nice to make. Let's try out the chisel. Well, actually, let me find the chisel. Let's try out the furnace next. See what that's able to do. I think chisel's probably in one of these boxes, honestly. Or not. I wonder what my actual capacitors are at now that I've got the wires set up correctly. It is building. Is this the guy who delivers the... Who the fuck delivers aluminum to this? Why are they not delivering? Because we have so many of those. You know what? I'll just become the delivery drone for aluminum. Temporarily, since it can't figure itself out. Alright guys, I am the drone today. I am the drone. Billions must drone. Also, the next step is quite simply, there we go, capacitors should be going up rapidly. It makes 2 per craft, and that will be great. And I think there's a chance that it's in any of these crates that are just strewn about JFK Street. JFK Avenue. I need all of this because I'm about to cast out 5 billion rockets. Which we need to stop with the 5 billion rockets meme, but it's too funny to do. So I'll set up a new casting crucible for casting 5 billion rockets. Aluminum powder and that. And then turn off that thing. Is this going well? That's nice to see. When you're done with that, turn that off since I got another crucible running. For casting aluminum. It's going pretty well right now. And I guess we'll start casting titanium if I have excess, which I do. This is pretty sweet. We got the setup of all time right now. Is any of the... Alright, this one's empty. That's empty right there. It might have... Don't mind that it has a foundry mold, because that is empty. Foundry mold is way to go. We just gotta... I gotta get more aluminum powder and shit from the moon. If we can get some of that shit we have on the moon, that'd be great. Bring it back, some of the aluminum and shit. Copper, aluminum. I think we might even make titanium there. But we do have a lot of production on the moon that's just kind of just sitting there. And I would rather it just not come down to Earth and rather it sit on the moon than we bring it back every now and then in little quantities. But it is getting produced there, which is pretty nice. It's conglomerate operations. Operation Conglomerate. I'm actually surprised that this is even able to keep up. $3 million thermal units. Wow. Are we running more fuel? If we ran more fuel, it'd be up to like way more. But it also uses more fuel, and it will expire faster. So I suppose what I should do then is just split it up between 2 crucibles. That way we're running less work. Or, well, running our work evenly. Oh, dear. Oh, wait. Holy shit! That is fast as shit. I mean, obviously it's a PWR powering 2 of these, but surprisingly it's really not losing that much speed to do so. That's pretty nice. Guess I'll set up my... So at the Church of Xernox, which still hasn't been torn down yet. Or like, I need to tear down this area. I need to tear down the other one. That's something I have to do, but this is fine. We've produced all kinds of shit here too. We've got all kinds of plutonium, bismuth. Looks like it still has some of the old stuff from the PWR days. If we could get the Xernox piped up with kerosene, that'd be pretty good. But I think we've just finished one of the big tasks. That's pretty nice. We're just on to the next steps. Or I'm on to the next step after that. So yeah, we could get that piped up. Or we could not do that, and we could just wait. But either way, it doesn't matter. For now, I'm going to focus on getting these set up. So that way I have my pipes and shit covered up. And these are rather annoying. Setting up grates like this can be kind of an absolute pain. Usually you just place the grate off of another grate, and it will retain the height of that first grate. But then you end up with stuff like this happening. That's not fun either. It has to be exactly at the top of the block, unless that happens. But you can do it like that too. It's just easier to go slower. Let's see. Of course, I could also build the next one of these things. What are they called? Rotary furnaces, because we do need our. I think we should get a second one. I can do that. I can also do the other stuff. It'll just be... I'm just waiting on that, though. I'll just hold off for now, since I'm gonna mainly just be playing around with this PWR setup. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to move the capacitors for it, too. I'll do that now. After I place the last of these. It's just gonna be a second. Where should the new... Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure yet. Is it finished? We're about to destroy... Well... Let's just say if we tear down, the Xernox facility... Because it's not really being used anymore. There's a lot of stuff in here still that we need to move out and stuff. And there's a lot of messy stuff in here, but this would be a good spot if we just tear down this building. Then you have a lot of open area where there's a lot of nothing going on. And then we could build an above ground facility. You have at least like, you could expand out to like the nearby chunks and have up to 6 in this area alone. Or 4. Actually, oh yeah, you could just build another one of the standardized buildings in line with this thing, almost. But just the sizing needs to be standardized. Not the style. The style is up to you. Well, as long as it looks like it's an industrial building, it will be perfect. But yeah, we can basically do a standardized 6-chunk area. And then the building is all up to whatever you want it to look like. Or whatever I make it look like. It's up to us. Let's figure that out. But yeah, there's a lot of space there for those such things. I need to move the capacitors for the old setup. Alright. Yeah, I don't really have much time to build when I'm doing other projects, but we'll see if I get to it. I think I'll move these to the, not the other shit, but I'll put it in the PW, or the Watts reactor, just in case, because Watts reactor might not have enough power. Vein miner, max out vein miner, so then I can just collect all of this shit. I guess that gives us a lot of extra turbines too. We really do have a lot of extra turbines just laying around. We'll bury this little crypt I have for the old turbine setup. And someday, somebody who will download this world will unbury it and go, man, I never watched that stream. I wonder where this came from. Wonder if this is a new dungeon HBM mod. Never watched that stream before. Has this happened before? No. Holy, this turbine is huge. Yeah. It might need to be like a 12 chunk project, where the width of the factory is 3 blocks and the length is like 4. Oh, you'll be able to fit it. It'll fit in a 6 chunk area. Except, yeah, no, it might need to be a 3x3 or something like that. 3x4 could do. Or something. That is absolutely massive, though. Yeah, 3 wide it seems. Well, if a 2x3 you might have it, but 3x4 could do. Well, I could get started on marking it out. So I'd say this is like the corner right here. Then another corner. There's also accelerator components. We could do the accelerator in this area. I'll give you a lot of space for this. And then it's not a lot of space right now, but then you have from here outwards is like the rest of it. Like you can go all the way up to the glyphid nest if you want. There we go. That should be, that gives you a 2x2 or a 1x2 if you, for the some of the stuff for the particle, or yeah, particle accelerator could probably fit in there. And then you have a 3x3 for the rest of it. Or up to the road, I guess, could even be possible. If that's not enough, I can obviously adapt that, but that should be enough. In theory. In practice, we'll see. But should be theoretically enough. RBMK. No. Watts reactor. Yes. Watts reactor do Watts reactor things. Watts reactor good. I did think that this originally was going to be setting power the other way, where it's like it outputs this way instead of like that. So we'll go ahead and set that up how I originally thought this was outputting. Or no, not like that. But like, you place that. That shit's wrong. That would create a flow-through loop. But you'd do something like this. Then, okay, it's not even outputting any energy. Is the Watts reactor even outputting energy? Does it just exist to do nothing? I don't even know anymore. Like, that shit makes little to no sense if it's outputting nothing. It doesn't exist to produce energy, guys. It's another reactor that we have to sacrifice to the great heat production lines. Since heat is the future. Nice. That should be everything it needs. to be functional. Then we have a bunch of niobium capacitors, which barely output any energy. Yeah, it's all maxed out. How's the energy going out of this? It's going this way. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, bump, bump. It stops. Or does it continue? Through the wall. Let's see. Let's see that actually. Yes, it continues through the wall. Okay. Why is there no throughput from this? And this is not right. So it outputs through the wall. It travels. Probably outputs into this shit. Actually does not. Because that is not correct. But it is outputting somewhere. Into some line, somehow. We'll dig down a second and see how that might have connected. It was like right here, right? Cable view. Okay. I see that there's a large cable system underneath the ground, which is moving energy this way. If I dig down again, it should just appear. Yes. Okay. Cool. So these cables are no longer needed. I can bulldoze the facility. Now, if you don't want to do it out there, I could zone another area. I'm about to clear out the old PWR plant. Which is also built on top of the old oil site. The original oil site. So that's pretty cool. If you like oil, there might still be some remnants of the old oil site buried in the soil. That'd be pretty fascinating to find out, but I mean, there's a lot of history on this one spot. We've gone from a lot of things here. Yeetus the latest, this facility goodbyes. Get destroyed-ified. What about a platform? What about a platform? You know what I mean? Like, set up a platform for it? Oh shit, the cave's here. I forgot about the cave. Cave was hidden for so long. That's what we need, a platform. Guess these go in here and these. Okay, cool. That cleans up my inventory slightly. Alright, we are making good progress. Yeah, I could zone this area for that as well. I'll get started figuring out how it would go. Actually, I don't mind a platform idea. Platform would solve a lot of issues, honestly. Because some of the issues are like the idea of a road. It still exists in my mind to put roads everywhere. For some reason, but this is not bad. This would be an excellent spot. It's just, there might be oil stuff still buried underneath this, which isn't being used, so it's not really a problem, but it still might be there. Platform is like really futuristic as well. Especially since we produce steel in large quantities, I can really churn out the steel now. This is not really helping, but I'll just go ahead and set this thing to vein miner. Tear that shit down. That's gone right quick. Nice. We could obviously leave the sarcophagus or whatever the fuck it's called, catacombs. Ancient catacombs right there. Alright, so then it's up to me to start building a platform for it. Or start working on that project. But yeah, I could raise it a little bit off the ground, effectively making so much more space for everything. Because it could be three-dimensional. I am going to need to make these, which are made in the chem plant. Like this. Cool. That's a recipe that needs the chem plant. And I am okay with that recipe. Seeing as I have access to the thing for that right here. Put in my water barrel. Nice. And then I have chem plants. And I can make deco blocks. Deco block. Right there. Lots of steel too. So this makes it fairly easy to do en masse. I guess we'll build it there if we don't want to build it in the other place. Oh shit, I made way more than I thought I would. It's okay. I'm sure there's a box I can put shit in. Holy shit, I made way more than I thought I would. Never mind. Box is not going to help me. Unless I use this box. I guess I can make it with regular steel. God damn. Yeah, box is not going to help with this. Oops. How many stacks did I even make? Tons. That also will help me out, because I do need some of those to finish up the watch reactor, which has been waiting for me to finish it for so long. It's been left there, forgotten. Cool. It's just waiting on water for some reason. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's got a water supply. It's just not accepting it. Is that the issue? Oh, because I set it up wrong because I'm an idiot. Oops. I thought it's been done. It still needs, like, the exterior, there's bits that are missing. Red concrete and some other shit. I'm gonna go ahead and stage the next thing for this. Get some of this staged. And then I should be good to go. Start working on the frame. Then the floor is factory blocks. But this will be a perfect starting point. I guess it would need to be on the outside. Start building. And it's just gonna copy the watch reactor, really. If I just steal the watch reactor kind of style. Except do it beefier, since it's gonna be huge. It's gonna have a nice surface area on top of it. It's gonna be the future of advanced projects. I can build it over pretty much everything. Okay, that's a little bit off-center for some reason. But we need to flex our steel supplies since we have so much of it right now. This is the most true fact of all time. We can destroy this facility too. I don't think we need that anymore. Yeah, could totally tear this down. I don't want to do that right now, though. I want to stay away from that, kind of, for a little bit. But I'll continue working on the frame if you want to tear that down. Lots of bricks right here. Nice. And then I build out my setup. Cool. Yeah, I forgot that. That's why I wasn't gonna mess with... Well, I didn't forget that. I just didn't say anything about that. That's my bad. It's part of the reason I don't want to mess with it, is because of the lava. But it's okay. We don't need to worry about lava. It's fine because I got fire resist. Splendid. I guess this road could just curve down into this area if I need to put a road through here, but... Platform. What a crazy idea. Also kind of relieves the amount of work we have to do to put all of it into position. A lot less terraforming this way. Still a lot. Guessing it goes like this. Yes, it goes like this. Probably. Okay, then it needs to start connecting it over. Pain. Brain pain. The brain train is full of brain pain. Then we just do factory blocks probably for the floor mostly. That should be the easiest part, is the factory blocks. So this is going to be a huge project, but I'm excited. This one's indoor, so it's going to have all four sides kind of be this same pattern. That will make things a little bit interesting. Actually, the other ones should also be like this. Even the corner ones. Then do that. Nice, and I've ran out of all of my blocks, so I need to make more of them. And I can start installing full siding. I already have a plan for the sides, too, don't worry. I have some blocks that I've never actually used in any of these builds yet. But they will look splendid for this. Absolutely splendid. Perfect blocks to use. Get my next selection of steel deco blocks staged, by the way. Right there. Nice. I'll go ahead and show everybody what those are, since I am currently able to do so. If we get a chisel first, because I need a new one. remember carving this hole out. It must have been a pain. Probably not. We have, like, such technology nowadays. That, well, back then we might not have. Alright. And now I should only need one thing. That's the secret material called concrete, but it's not actually HBM concrete, so it's not what you think it is. You might think it is HBM concrete, but no, it's a lie. Just a dash pickaxe. I mean, it's still better than a stone pickaxe or any other vanilla tool. This stuff, I don't think I've ever actually used it in any of my builds thus far to show it off, but it is very nice. It is a block that really does suit industrial themes like this one. And so we're going to start off doing dark concrete on the bottom layer. This is weathered concrete, basically. Now, I really regret putting all of this here because the inside of the build is just going to be concrete all the way around, except we don't need it there because it's not going to be exposed. Instead, we'll just have a single, give it an illusion of being the same. Since you can't do, well, you could probably actually do a slab. Well, let's go ahead and, I don't know if I want to do slabs though. Full block usually has better lighting. That's what we'll do, full blocks for best lighting. And then, of course, placing this should be really easy if we just stand on it. It gives you speed because it's concrete, and yeah. This is just the lower level though, because there will be an upper level, which is going to be the platform layer. That's the layer above it. Since this can be for piping and for roads that go underneath that. It's kind of like if Jeff K. Industries was, or Jeff K. Street or whatever the fuck it's called, was a road, or was a fucking platform. And we had a fucking nuclear reactor on top of it or some shit. And that should look very excellent. Very, very nice and neat and stylized to be industrial. These concrete blocks are literally just smelted cobblestone, like, or regular stone, twice or some shit. But it's still kind of missing something, and it's still kind of lacking in some areas. I think it might be that we don't have enough weathered stone in there. It might look better if it's just a little bit of the regular stone and a lot less of that weathered stone, right? Or maybe the entire thing is regular stone and the floor is weathered stone. Although, we'll see how that works out in a second. I just gotta tear this down real quick so I can model how that looks. I think it will look good if it's just the whole entire bottom section is this weathered version. So we would do a layer right there, and then I would run my... It's kind of one of those materials that's actually pretty hard to use, though. Even in spite of how it looks, it still looks like it's going to be hard to even build with it. That's why I haven't used it yet, because it's kind of a... It's a great material, but I haven't found a good use for it. Versus the other way of how it would look is, like, light and then just barely any dark. I like the dark better, honestly. I think that really is going to do better than what I just modeled on it. Try out this one. That looks okay. That will do fine. That will get our job done. Specific task done. Then an entrance kind of around this area. There's also going to be an entrance on that area as well, but we need 8 blocks for a road. Yeah, that's like why I like this block. It's one of those few 1.7 exclusive blocks that looks really exceptional. Then there's going to be some kind of entryway. It's just, you could use this in a lot of ways. Like, you can have a floor that's dark and then blend it in with the walls being a lighter wall, which is where I think it's supposed to be used that way. Although, I do really appreciate that this block exists. Yeah, how tall is Jeff K? Jeff K is like 3 blocks tall, right? Okay, so we already are beating Jeff K as far as the amount of space we have. So I don't think I need to worry about that. What I do need to worry about is installing some kind of actual arch system. So I'll get myself the fucking chainsaw machinery. Saw table. And this usually makes chisel blocks look pretty weird, so we have to make sure we do it properly. Otherwise, it won't turn out too good. So when I look at my arches, which I have available here, I do my weathered variety for this side. I don't know how that's going to look, but we'll see. That might look exceptional. No, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look that bad. It actually really does work. It does just work. Okay. I might go with those. Then do rounded sections for this stuff. Or I might lower it down a bit. It should be fine. I wish it was a little bit more round, though. We do have other options, like we have this section, or this option, but I don't know about that. I don't think that's going to be good. We'll just go ahead and run this as so. And it should have enough space for vehicles to pass through. Perfect. And then we have to raise it up a block. But that's fine. That's easy work. And I don't know, they don't retain the actual speed function if you do make them into the architecture blocks, because they're basically just a wood plank that's been shaped at that point. Although they will, if you use regular blocks, have that functionality. Then we also need a door there. We'll get to that in a second. Continue to build out this. Head over to here and build out this. Boom. Put in this layer. And this is just going to be a solid square beam that goes across. And even in the edge, square beam all the way. All the way square beam. Cool, and that should be finished. For now. Until I am dissatisfied with how it looks. But that is not bad. I do say this really is quite industrial looking. And then on the inside of here, I'll put a maintenance access, since nobody's ever going to see that shit. And that will give us access to the upper levels of the building. The construction project for the fusion reactor area. Then I would say we would do like a spacer to give you space to put pipes and shit through the ground. So that would be like a couple blocks, and then you're on to the actual level for the platform after that. I would say How many blocks do you think you need? Like 4 or 5 of height? 4 is good? Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Then that's the spacer, and then you have another layer after that. That's what the deuterium uses, and it has a lot of pipes in it. Okay. Cool. Spacer layer is going to be a little bit different since we do need to have kind of a 4x4 of these beams to make it look good. So that means the floor is on the bottom of that, but then the rest of it should just be... This doesn't need to be full. Did I fill this in? This is fine to just not be filled in, since this is technically just going to be an empty, hollow... As much as we can save on resources, right? Sections that are hollow are intended to be hollow. Because it gives you a little bit of space. But this is useless space. That's dead space anyway. I think I have some factory blocks left over from back when we were working on the setup for that. Then I can set up this. Hello, YouTube. What's up? You like this great build that's going on right now? It's amazing, right? It's beautiful. I think I still have extra factory blocks, and I do, but barely any. Might do industrial blocks. There's only like 20. Well, maybe the other things are industrial blocks. Did I do this whole thing like this? I hope I did not. Hope this was not me. Because then on the inside, it's kind of a mess. Cool. Then just fill this in. Nice. This is so when Razif comes back, he can drive his BTR through the fucking underground of our fusion reactor setup. With an extra buried sarcophagus from the PWR turbine. It only had one turbine, which is pretty sad. Okay, and then up here we could continue this or not. I think we will continue that. So that way it goes all the way up the inside of the building. Then an inside layer, which will be just one block of factory blocks. Or not factory blocks, the other type of block. And this is just a start, since I don't think we're going to get this finished today in the time that I have allotted. So, we'll see. I don't even know if it needs the inside blocks, honestly, for each of these columns. I don't know. Maybe. It might need those, honestly. There we go. There's another column done. Then that goes across again to the other side. That's the top of the floor. There'll be the actual functioning layer after that. Actually, it should be fine. I think this will be enough space. I think it will be enough space. That doesn't mean it will be enough space, but I think everything can fit in this area. If managed correctly, I think 3 or 4 blocks is probably enough. Steel deco blocks. Need more. Constantly. But in the meantime, before we end this episode, I'm going to put in another wall just to demonstrate how that's even going to go together. Pretty simple. And it should just be... Looks like it was 2, and then I did the arc. Or arch, as some people may call it. But yeah, arc should do right about here. Then put this in. That's the top of the area. Obviously, I should probably test that if this even works with vehicles, because if you start putting in like architecture craft stuff, then usually the wood fucking breaks. Because they are just pieces of wood in the shape of an arc. That's literally all it is. It's kind of magic, but at the same time, it somehow just works. Oh, that would look good. Yeah, that would look amazing, actually, now that I think about it. Hold on. 1 second. If I were to set it up and kind of make it go a little bit more inwards on those exterior details, I think that could look amazing. I think it would look absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear down all of this. I'm going to make the insides go a little bit more inside. This is going to make it 10 times the amount of value as far as how it looks. Some real industrial building. But step it in a little bit. It should look pretty good, I think. Obviously not too much, but just a little bit of a step inwards for architecture. This isn't a bad idea. Do something like this. And then it captures and doesn't do any extending out. Just stays the same. Same thing here. Goes in a little bit. Not too much. Just enough to make it look interesting. Yeah, it's not bad. Then we can do the same thing on this end, but that'll be a later project. I think, for the most part, I've got everything I want to do today done. And I've also got a lot of work on this that I'm going to have to do, but that's okay. It's going to be quite a project, and then this will probably rival the size of the main facility. If not be the biggest build we've done in the entire series thus far. Oh, I still have to make the things before I end today's episode. We're gonna make these, and we're gonna finish off that last arc, and then we're gonna drive a truck through it just for fun, just to add a little bit of fun for today. I should have one of those trucks at least slightly filled, so we'll see. I mean, I won't be able to drive it through this, but hold on 1 second. I will just get what I need to do that. So, since I'm accepting the power draw potential or penalty, I don't know what that means. Explain. What is the power draw penalty? There's a power draw penalty? Doesn't hit minimum side length, so it will cost more power. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. But once the reactor running, it produces like 3 times more of the penalty cost. God damn. I mean, our current fusion reactor is like advanced. How advanced is this gonna be? This is gonna be like super advanced. Is it sustainable though? That's the question that like I feel like a politician would ask. Is it sustainable? I feel like I'm a politician now. I guess I kind of am now at this point in this world. just running this entire world, this entire playthrough. Most likely bottleneck is kerosene. Okay, good to know. And I will be able to deal with that. Don't worry. I will make a kerosene setup that will be so potent it will produce the kerosene you need. That'll be my next goal, I guess. Because I forgot what my other goals were. I mean, we got the main setup for like, oh yeah, we need to make another alloy smelter and stuff, but that's stuff we can do. Is 6,000 every 26 seconds. Just build a giant wood oil setup. You get light oil pretty quickly that way. We might do the bitumen setup, but that just means you're getting more of every other fraction. Light oil comes out at a ratio of like 15% of your oil cut if you do regular oil. If you do cracked oil, we could probably generate more from cracked oil. So if we had a cracked oil setup, that'd probably be the way to go. Then we just need to set up enough fracking towers off of that one reactor for it to be sustainable. What are the other materials that we're going to need to run it? Just out of curiosity, since I can at least think of how to supply that stuff that we're going to need, the kerosene. Ah, fuck. Copper powder for antimatter production. Do you have a plan for that? How we're gonna get that? Is it from the moon or that probably will be a big one since I don't actually have a good means of supplying copper powder. It's all being diverted unless we split it out. Could, since we have a good stockpile on the moon. Yes, that is fair, but I kind of want to have it like infinite, you know what I mean? And plus, we need the stockpile on the moon for, I mean, maybe. But we still need a good production of it. And a lot of the production's going to other tasks. No, like the stock. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm surprised this even has fuel in it. I didn't even check the fuel meter. God damn it. Gordon Freeman driving this shit. Gordon. Stop. Stop. Fucking get this truck stuck in the carsophagus. What the fuck? God damn, it's going to its grave right now. It's going to the other world. The ground consumes all. Yeah, for real. Kamaz 5350. Let's see if it goes. Let's try this again. Let's do that again, just to demonstrate that this does work. I'm just stupid and overdrove. Fucking drive through that shit. It's just a fucking concrete wall. Oh, I wonder what happens if I hit a drone with my car. Does it cause a massive explosion or some shit? Straight through Jeff K. Street. These are honestly really great for the moon. So next moon expedition, we do need to bring these. They're only great for the moon. Other than that, oh dear, you do have a lot of space in this vehicle. You can hit You can fill it with like 300 different people. Let me in. The plant can produce rocket fuel. That's all I need to hear. Just a little bit further. A little bit further. Okay, we should be good to start. Yep, turn on a dime, right? If only I could see behind me. Here we go. This basically is a tank, so I mean, we could just do that. I don't understand, but yes, it works. It just works. It is basically just a tank. And do one of these. Yep, this is some good parking skills right here. What the fuck? Oops. Looks like I just destroyed the fucking crafting table. Parking right there. This is for Amazon, but we deliver nuclear waste. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, but I'll see you all next time, and goodbye, because this is all I want to do for today in the world. So we've done enough. Next episode, I'm going to start working on the rest of this build, and hopefully we'll begin building the accelerator, the wood oil plant, and other setups in future episodes. Because this is going to extend to, like, yeah, probably right out here. It might even bury ASA, the original space center, so that's pretty good. A lot of projects are gonna go in this one little space because, you see, much like most civilizations, we need to start building upwards and not outwards because, well, we've covered from here to here. Yeah. Not so little space. Is it not enough? But I mean, I think it's pretty large, because it's gonna cover up to the edge of the sign. So it might just become ASSU or ASU, which could be some other space agency. I don't even remember what this even stands for. Australian Space Center, or some shit. But who knows? You can probably reference that from one of the previous videos. That's that would go up a layer, because this is the dead space area, or like that's the empty layer. So like there's another layer on top of this where it would go. But we'll get to that next episode. See you all then. Goodbye.